Testing. Or did we already did that?
We already did that.
That's not what you do now.
No.
How do people
sit?
How do people sit for a podcast?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is there a way? We have wine. Check.
We have wine. I'm on my good side.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't even know what side that means, but okay.
It means my good side.
As long as you're happy.
All right. So I think this is it.
Yep.
All right.
Welcome to our first podcast.
Cheers.
Cheers to
we have
that.
Our wine.
Cheers to that.
Yeah.
So, how much fun? First of all, we had
so much interaction.
Yeah.
So much.
We had too much
interaction, engagement, and I was impressed by how many people came up to us at the game.
Yeah.
Go Irish.
Why don't you tell them what game?
Go Irish.
We won't bore you, but Notre Dame is playing the national championship now.
The people know.
This
Who
is
cares?
my school. We're not talking about sports. Go Irish.
I was just impressed by how many people came up to us and asked, like, "Oh, what are you guys up to? What are you guys doing?"
Texted us,
and I was just, a lot of people said, "Oh, are you pregnant?" First of all, guys, I was drinking champagne, and funny, people were like, "Oh, I didn't."
Someone smart did say, "Well, it could have been apple cider."
Oh, true.
So I didn't think about that.
True,
but
true.
no, we're
But
toasting
we're not
in the
pregnant.
teaser video. No one's pregnant here that we know of.
But I love how many people are interested.
Yeah.
It's exciting. So I feel like we got to bring it, babe.
Yeah.
We got to bring it.
We're going to bring it. First and foremost, disclaimer, we love our day jobs. I love what I do.
We're not leaving our day jobs.
We're not?
We're not leaving our 9 to 5.
Okay.
We're excited about that. We're both very new at our jobs, or at least it feels like it.
I mean, sort of, no, but
we're like a year.
New,
a
not new.
A year.
Yeah, but I love what I do every day.
Exactly.
And there's no way I'm leaving that.
This is a hobby. This is a hobby for us. And we definitely want everyone to know that we have no idea what we're doing.
We don't.
That's why I keep calling it a podcast-ish.
But I've seen a bunch of schmucks online that make a lot of money doing podcasts.
Yeah,
And
so we're
I
like,
thought,
why not, right?
With like the little mushroom cuts or the hair that does this, and they're like doing TikTok dances.
That, babe? What is that?
The hair, you know, the bangs that like are like.
No.
The Gen Zers that do the hair like that?
No, not that. Yeah, so we have no idea what we're doing, but we're excited, and let's talk about a little bit about what we're going to be talking about. And
we're going to talk about what we talk about every day. Like
topics.
What we find ourselves doing is, sorry. Do I not talk to the?
No, you gotta talk to me.
To you?
Yeah, okay. I think that's what people do.
So, what we find ourselves doing is having awesome conversations with really interesting people.
And that's exactly how it started.
Yeah, with really interesting people.
It's exactly how it started.
At dinner, at lunch, in meetings, casually on the phone, yada, yada, yada.
When we go out on the weekends.
And it's like, wait a minute, I think other people would want to be engaged in this type of conversation.
Or at least we think.
We think. Or we could just suck.
That's how Wolfetales started. It was November 2024.
I know that name's a little cheesy, but you guys had to just...
It's not cheesy. I told you it's going to grow on you.
Wolfetales is cheesy.
It's not cheesy. Everyone who has... Not everyone. There's only a select few who know about it and know the name, and they love it. So, cállate.
There's a lot of fake love going around on social media.
Oh, God. That's another topic. Write it down.
Oh, yeah. Let's put that down.
Fake love on social media.
That's a good topic.
That's actually a good one. Okay.
Which I don't give. I don't give any fake love. All right, back to it. Back to why we're doing this.
So we were on the balcony. It was a Saturday night. We had been drinking. We got back home from an outing.
Why you have to tell them that?
Because we were drinking. Who cares?
I'm drinking
right now. We're drinking right now.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. So we were on the balcony having a good time. The weather was fantastic. And we were talking about something, and I remember saying, wow, how great would it be if this conversation was recorded? And that's kind of when the little light bulb went out for us. It
did. I had all the eureka moments.
And I'm like, oh.
This is what Gary Vee talks about all the time.
We should
putting
do
this shit on there.
Yeah, let's just do a podcast.
Yes.
Who cares if we don't know what we're doing? Who cares if we're not professionals? Who cares?
We have no idea what we're doing.
We have no idea. But we're like, let's just do it. And in that moment, in that very moment.
We're not selling anything.
You started.
We're not influencing anything. We're not influencers in the wild. I'll tell you where we are.
We're going to be entertaining. We may be educating here and there.
Yeah.
And we're definitely encouraging. Anyway, it's the three.
Encouraging conversation.
The three important E's.
On a serious note, I love, to this day, I still love to learn from other people who are knowledgeable on topics. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. Please engage with us. Even if you're informed, tell us, school us. If we're way off base, correct us. That's what this is all about.
Messy. This is messy. It's not supposed to be perfect.
Us talking about the shit that is relevant to us, that's interesting,
Exactly.
across the board.
Yeah, this is going to be about relationship, work, just life in
Pet
general.
peeves.
A lot of polls.
Larry David is a major influence on my life. All right.
Loves the polls. So
polls.
There's
Oh
gonna
my
be,
God, polls.
There's going to be a lot of polls.
There's going to be votes. There's going to be polls, and be intentional with how you vote. It's going to dictate the power that we have here because we argue all the time, and I love to win my polls. I ask random people. She thinks I'm crazy. We're going to ask you guys.
I think
polls.
you need to be looking at me.
All right, fine. I'm going like this. I feel like we have someone with us.
Okay, I have no idea if it's right or wrong, guys.
All right, I'm looking at you.
Okay, I think you're supposed to be looking at me.
Okay, fine.
I don't know.
I'll look at both.
Okay, fine.
Just keep this. Let's just
Okay.
keep talking.
Anyway, we were on the balcony. The light bulb went out for us, and we said
Went out. No, went on.
Went on.
Light bulb.
I've had too much wine.
The light bulb went out. The light bulb went out. We ran out of ideas. All right.
Light bulb went on. This is my third glass.
Okay.
And we said, okay, let's start writing. We started just writing out topics right there and then. You popped out your phone, and we started writing down topics that we thought were interesting,
Yeah.
right? So
wait. There was a moment, so you understand what goes on in my head. It's like, are we really gonna be those podcast people? Are we really gonna create a podcast?
Yeah, we're gonna be those
I'm
podcast
like,
people.
oh my God, who's
I
gonna
don't
watch?
care.
Who the hell is gonna even want to pay
Who
attention
cares?
to this shit?
People will
But
like
you're
us.
right. And then I started to think, and I go, you know what? It doesn't matter. This is
doesn't.
fun. This is something for us to do that's fun.
It's like a hobby. We're treating it as a
maybe
hobby.
folks will like it.
Yeah, we're treating it as a hobby. We'll see where it goes. And yeah, so the next day I was like, okay, are you serious about this? Let's do this. And here we are 2 months later, because this was in November.
And how much fun was that teaser video?
The teaser video was great. Shout out to Nick.
Nick.
He killed it. That's going to be the most professional part of this entire podcast is that teaser video because everything
All right, so watch. I lied. I am going to influence, and I'm selling something.
Gosh.
If you guys like the teaser video, we will introduce you to our friend who does that professionally. He did that with his eyes closed in like less than 30 minutes. He actually does a lot like more polished work than what he did for us. But we love you, Nick. Thank you so much for
polished. It was great. That's going to be the most professional part of this entire podcast is that teaser video. Everything is homemade.
Everyone's tuning in now. It's like
everything is messy.
we're just gonna watch you sit down and talk to each other now without like clips. Sorry.
We're going. I mean, at least for now, at the beginning of this whole journey, this is what it is, guys. This is what you're gonna get. And then as we move along in this journey, we'll see where it goes. We have no idea where this is gonna go.
Yep.
But at least you know.
But we're not fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
No, we're not fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving. Okay.
So that's why we did it.
All right.
We did it. Awesome to do this with you. I love you.
I love you too, honey.
Okay. And let's see what the people think.
I'm excited.
So what are we talking about?
So
if we keep looking down, we have little notes
we have little
here,
notes
so we
'cause
stay on track.
Again, we
because
have no idea what we're doing.
as she reminds me, we're two air signs. I don't really know what that means.
It means that we're all over the place.
Yeah. Based on when we were born and where the moon was.
That's
Stay
another
with
topic.
me. Stay with us now.
That's
okay.
another topic.
Yeah.
That's definitely another
All right.
topic. But yeah, we are all over the place. That's why I'm proud of us. I'm proud of us for doing this because it's quite the commitment. And
we got a lot of shit going on in our lives.
Yeah, we're busy. We're very busy. So that brings us to our topic. It's all about balancing your life, your family, your work, your body, your mind, your spouse, your children. It's like, how do people do everything? And now we're going to throw a podcast in the mix. And I always think, okay, if Beyonce is doing everything that she does and J-Lo is doing everything that she does and we all have the same amount of time, it must be because they're
rich.
And everything is a time block. Everything is it's time.
Yeah, no, they are very intentional with their time.
And that's the
They're
most important thing.
They're professionals and managing their time.
Yeah. So I think that's what our topic is about.
Yeah.
It's about that work-life balance.
We both work. We put in a ton of hours into our work, and I'm telling you this, we're really passionate about what we do, and we're parents. And we don't have a lot of help with the parent. We have a lot of family that loves us. We're so blessed for that, but it's really hard to get folks to actually take care of our son so we can do what we want to do. So we're investing a lot of time every week parenting, okay? And we're active. We try to stay fit. We spend time with family. So how do you make room for new things, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time, you're trying to think about what I can get rid of to actually give myself more time for the things that matter.
Yeah,
right?
because there's so many things, and it feels like
There
so
is.
little time. And when you have a toddler, it almost just takes over your entire
yeah.
life. And we do a good job at prioritizing ourselves and each other.
Yep.
And that's
And we still have fun.
And we still have fun. So it's also balancing that. Okay, so are we gonna have fun? Are we having fun and spending money? Or are we going to buckle down?
It's really
and
hard to have fun in
save
Miami and not
save
spend money.
But I always say,
All right.
it's easier
Very.
to make money than it is to save money. And
Yeah, as far as like the mindset,
that's like
you're thinking like rich dad, poor dad mindset.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, you got to think about earning more and not,
Yeah.
you know,
So I feel like this is
tightening up.
two topics in one, right? It's
Well-
like the work family work
well, how,
family
like
spouse
how the hell do you make time to do a
balance?
podcast? I promise you this, we're not investing a lot of time doing this, but it's something we want to talk about. Work-life balance is
Well,
something
it is.
we
It is.
think about.
It is time because look, it is the weekend. We're recording, and then we also have to edit. Well, I have to edit.
Yeah.
I have
I don't know how to do
to.
that
I
shit.
have to do
I
that,
don't know how to
and that's
do that.
time.
And then I
when do you
critique
think
it.
I'm going to do that, honey?
You're right.
I'm
You
going to
gotta
do
think about
that.
that.
I'm going to do that.
Separate
when I'm-
podcast topic.
Okay. 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 I already have
No,
anxiety.
but you're right. And actually, that reminds me of. All right, so think about
Yikes.
all the people, whether they're celebrities or CEOs or entrepreneurs that have been really successful in life. Just the super producers. If you read about them, you know about them. What do they have in common?
They all know how to time block.
Well, all right, that's
Time
really
management.
specific. It's time management.
Yeah,
They're just
time
experts
management.
at managing their time.
Forbes just came out with an article. I read it today, and it's all about that, how successful entrepreneurs, why they are successful, and it's because they treat time like gold. And when
That's the most precious resource.
exactly, it is the
Yeah.
most precious, most finite,
What did it say?
resource that we have.
Did it give some tips?
It definitely gave tips. It gave a few tips. So first off, which was my favorite one, is outsourcing, delegating. So delegate things
Like
that
what?
that don't need your superpower, that don't need you involved. So that can be cleaning
Instacart.
cleaning ladies, grocery shopping,
Instacart, you guys. What a
errands,
game changer.
errands,
That's the
admin
best,
things.
like $10 I've ever spent every single time we get groceries.
Yeah, that's huge. That's important. Other errands, have an admin assistant.
I would love to have an assistant.
I mean, eventually
We're
we'll
not
get
there
there.
yet, babe.
We'll get there. But a
hope we
cleaning
get there.
lady.
We're blessed that we can afford a cleaning lady.
You know, my
thank God.
dream is to have a
She
chef.
still vacuums all the time.
Well, yeah. That's just my OCD. But having a chef, that's next level. But
that's like D-Wade
That's
level.
my dream. That's my dream. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
But it's all about delegating those tasks that don't need your brain power, don't need your superpower.
You're right. It goes into what AI, like when you talk about conversations about AI and what you want to utilize AI for when you're thinking business and things, that ties into that because the things that you don't have to do that you can have other people doing, if you're able to afford it or if you figure out a way that you can delegate it, however, do it. Because whether it's babysitting, whether it's, Instacart, like $5, $10, obviously these things a lot of times require money and you have to have that.
It also mentioned the Forbes article also mentioned the things that you buy. So is it a liability or an asset? Because is it going to take time from you in the long term?
Okay. Oh, you mean so
Like things that you get
boat.
like a boat. Okay, fine. You're going to buy a boat, but are you going to have it in your backyard? Or are you going to have it at a what do they call it?
At a
not a hangar.
What's it called?
That's an airplane thing.
I'm drawing a blank too. Wow. We didn't even have that.
A dock?
We didn't even have that much.
A dock.
No, like the yacht club, like where you park your boat. We're not boaters, clearly.
Clearly.
All right, next
Okay,
topic. No, but the point is, I think the major
Marina.
Thank you. Yes. Wow.
Okay.
So the point is, you delegate those time-consuming activities so that you can take back that time to use
and be careful what you purchase.
on either earning more, right, or doing things that either make you happy, or doing things that focus on your health, right? All those things. Like to this day, I get anxiety about going to the dentist and going to checkups because, like Monday through Saturday, we're cranking out where we don't have a lot of time.
But you have to prioritize your
But that's
your
what
health.
this does. So I like that the article talked about that.
Yeah. About
Which
what?
is true.
Which part?
About delegating those
Yes,
tasks.
that was one thing. And then you just reminded me, the second part of this topic is, okay, having fun and spending money, but having fun creating memories with your spouse and your friends.
The way we invest in ourselves, but
and then
with fun.
Or saving money. But that's like the second part, I guess, chapter 2 of this topic.
Yeah.
Or phase 2. But the article also mentioned making fast decisions, and that's not only so in
What does that mean?
Not in like the everyday things. So like, I don't know, you're going shopping and you see something that you like and there's a shirt and the shirt is either blue or red. You're not going to sit there for 10 minutes and figure out if you want the blue shirt or the red shirt. Just make a decision and move along.
Is that just like a Gemini? That's a you
one
thing, I think.
No, but also like as an entrepreneur or a business owner and you're trying to make a decision for your company, if you have the facts, you have the information, and you have the expertise, make a decision.
Yeah.
It also mentioned...
Well, you just jogged my memory about something. Remember when I used to bring up decision-making fatigue? And
Yes.
I would talk about like Steve Jobs and some of these folks that what they do is in the morning they just throw on a black t-shirt and jeans, and that's what they wear every day. And I'm thinking, like, why do they do that? Like, why?
Yeah, because they don't want to...
Because they don't want to take up their decision-making energy on that part.
Exactly.
And the more I think about that, and the more I kind of put it into practice, I'm becoming a believer of that. Right?
I 100% believe it, because it's one less thing to think about.
Yeah, people just make fun of me now that I'm not fashion forward because I put on my...
I think you look great, babe.
Oh, thank you, babe. First podcast look. Okay.
And then we're kind of matching.
Yeah, we are. Same colors.
We got like the green army-ish colors going on. We didn't do that.
But I like that decision-making fatigue.
Yeah.
I hate wasting time. I follow... I'm a big fan of Gary Vee because I just like the way he connects with folks from all walks of life. And I think he gives really, really good advice on how to focus on your happiness and to not fall into the trap of how society dictates when you should be making decisions.
Okay, so that's one of the other
right?
things in the article is about not waiting in lines. So don't be a sheep. And I feel like since dating you, we've been dating, what now, 9 years?
You've been through the Not Waiting in Line boot camp by Donnie Wolf.
Or just not, like even when you're driving in traffic or ordering something or there's a big line.
I'm always ordering everything that I do via phone or online before I pick it up.
Always.
Even before there was online ordering.
Yeah, like
I'd call the restaurant, I'd call the smoothie place, say this is what I want. I'm 3 minutes away. They'd be a little hesitant sometimes. I'm like, I promise I'm gonna be there and pick it up.
But they would,
and
I'd
walk right in and not wait.
But now you can do it on the app.
Yeah, because society realized, holy shit, like, this is something people care about.
So
hello.
It's about just not being a sheep. Like, and I see it every day on the streets. There's an entire lane of cars, and there's one that's open, but because everyone is in this lane, no one thinks that maybe this lane also goes in the same direction.
We saw it on the cruise that we were just on.
Yes, so
we saw it on the cruise.
Okay, yes.
We were trying to get off the ship.
Yeah.
Everyone has to go to the same floor to get off the ship.
Yep.
There was a huge line when you get out the elevator, and you see people just immediately get into that line thinking that's what I have to do.
That's what you have to do
without asking anybody.
Or
but
without
that's crazy.
checking. Without checking. Yeah. So what's the first thing I did? I went around. No, I went around the line, and then when we got to the front of that mess, we realized everybody was picking up towels, and we already had our towels.
And that was what
and there was no line to get out.
It was not to get out of the ship.
So that's just an example, and I see it all the time. So just not waiting in lines, because why? Time is gold.
Well, just make sure you know what the heck you're waiting for.
Exactly.
First of all.
Exactly.
Second of all, if you're going to wait, better be worth it.
Exactly.
A lot of the times waiting for me is not worth it at all, ever, actually.
Yeah.
I hate waiting.
And then the other thing on that article was...
I'm impatient, though. I get it.
Investing in good experiences, because it'll bring you less stress.
So I agree. That's like more kind of investing in your mental health, right?
Yeah, like just
but we do a really good job of doing that.
Lounges.
We have like a date night every week. Oh, you're talking about, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So, as opposed, look, if you have access to a lounge, you have to think about with how financially feasible that is for you, right?
But that's it. That's what it is. Investing in good experiences.
For me, I'm constantly traveling. I'm working every single minute of the day that I can. So how do you create scenarios where you can still do that uninterrupted? Lounges are a big thing for me. All right. So investing in, the credit card or paying.
It increases your productivity.
Exactly.
So, and it brings your stress down. So going to that American airline lounge, a Delta lounge, or whatever it is, you're paying for it or whatever, however you get in there, but it'll increase your productivity and now you're less stressed.
If you can.
This is what the article says.
If you can, yeah.
But for us, I think that translates to date nights. So investing in date nights, investing in trips, and doing that weekly and monthly to fill our cup,
I think
to fill
that's
our
huge.
relationship cup.
And like, what's the opportunity cost of that? It's, all right, every time we're going out, Miami's expensive as all hell.
And that's the other part of it.
And so it's like, should I be putting this money like into all my investments and having that money grow?
That's the other part of it. We're spending so much going out, and then the other side of that is, okay, we can be saving that money, right, to build our wealth.
Yeah, but then...
And that's something that we struggle with, and we're so... And I know that both of us think about that separately, and we also talk about it as a couple, and I wonder, like, are you guys also thinking about that? Like, okay, we just spent $300, $400 in one night, but we could have used that money to do X, Y, Z. That's going to build generational wealth.
Or like just stayed in, cooked.
So it's like, shit.
Yeah, exactly. And focus on the long-term goal of generational wealth.
What's the right thing?
I don't know. So this is like, it's totally personal preference. I know the statistics of like marriages that fail. I know that I see people that are unhappy in their relationships. I see people that do not invest in their relationships. And I'm like, it matters so much to me that we are happy and that we are having fun, right? Because life is hard. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So for me, coming from a family that was, and like grandparents that were like, do not spend a single penny. They'd look at restaurant menus. They'd be like, oh my God, todo tan caro, blah, 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 blah. I hated living like that. And it was like part of like the Catholic upbringing too, of like the guilt and this. I'm like, you guys, this is too stressful a way to grow up. I go, yes, put some money aside, making sure you're focusing in your investments and putting money away for rainy days for the future and trying to build wealth. But if you're not investing in each other and their family, your immediate family and the relationship is going to fizzle, and you're going to become part of that statistic, 55% divorce rate, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm a firm believer that they're not having fun together.
They're not having fun. So is it because they're not making time for it?
Right.
And that brings me back to, okay, so how do you make time for that? How do you make time for your family, for your friends, also for your business, or wherever it is that you work? So
it's hard.
It's like, how do people do all this?
They don't.
They have multiple kids. I'm here complaining. I have one.
Oh my gosh. We have one. One is a lot. We know a lot of people that have two. We know a much smaller number that have three, and then even a smaller number that have four or more.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we had four?
And it's tough. How do you manage everything? That's the question that we ask ourselves all the time.
Because we're worried that what's going to give, right?
Yeah.
And so work will never give. Like work we prioritize. That will never give.
And then for me, family will never give.
Correct.
So then
you know what happens? Like you don't work out as much.
Yeah,
so
but that's important.
It's all important, but you choose
that's very
what's going to
important
give.
Because without your health, we got nothing, baby.
It goes back to being really efficient with your time.
Yeah.
And what I notice is people that are really pressed with their time and doing a ton, like super producers, they don't have time to go to a gym. They do their workout either in their apartment or in their gym at home or something like that. So they capture back the travel time that they would spend going to the gym. So it's all those little things I think that we are starting to think about, starting to realize why the others do it.
And time management, so scheduling it. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with scheduling a date night with your husband or your spouse. There's nothing wrong with scheduling
nothing wrong. You should do it.
A gathering with family. So scheduling it. So
babe, I'm all about scheduling. Are you crazy?
I know.
Your family wants to do things less than 24 hours
okay, that's another
notice.
topic.
Okay, fine.
That's another topic. My family
And then my family's on the other side of the spectrum. They plan things 3 weeks in advance.
Yeah, no, my family's very much like off, like on a limb. Is that right? On the limb.
Huh? Yeah. Well, no, what they are is they're easygoing with the planning of getting together.
Yeah.
Right. And I think
so it's always
that's a lot
minute.
more difficult when the type of lifestyle that we live. We have 12 things that we need to do today,
12, yeah.
or we have like 20 things we need to do this weekend. Like, we would love to see you guys. Thank you for the invite, but we have a plan.
We need to schedule
and if
it.
we don't do
It needs
those
to be
things,
scheduled, yeah.
then we're so busy during the week that now we have to wait till the following weekend to do them.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
sorry, not sorry.
No, it is what
Yeah.
it is. At the end of the day, it goes back to our point of time management.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? Is by scheduling things on your calendar, right?
Listen, I'm game. I'm game. We scheduled this. This was scheduled
This was important. This is quite
during the
commitment.
NFL playoffs.
Oh dear.
My gosh. All right, what's next? Are we off topic? You got to keep me honest.
I don't know. This is your handwriting. So.
Oh shoot. Okay. All right. So we talked about entrepreneurs being really like smart with their time. We talked a little bit about the Forbes article. Let's see what else. We talked about work-life balance.
But
you know what? You know what we can talk about? So we had dinner right before this. All right. And we're talking about date nights. All right. We love our date nights. We try to do. Ideally, we do 4 a month every Friday night.
At least 3 a month.
At least 3.
And we think that's so important.
So
That was one of the questions.
which one?
On our IG post. How do you keep it spicy?
Oh, that's huge.
Date nights and trips.
So why we just throw that term out, date night? There's so much to it that I love about date night. First of all, we both get dressed up. You look absolutely stunning when you get dressed up.
Thank
you. It's like it goes back to that like always be dating mindset, right?
Yeah.
And so then like I'll get dressed up. We'll go out to eat. We'll have good food, good company.
Yeah.
We'll have a little bit of wine or some cocktails, and then that's how it is. That's how you keep it so that it doesn't feel like you're just roommates or you're just here in a co-parenting,
And
world.
it's going to happen. You go through phases.
All right.
When you have a child, for sure.
Of course.
Yeah,
But that's the fun. That's the best part.
of course.
I love our date nights.
They're so important.
Yeah. So, all right. So speaking of date nights, and we saw this today. So we have a thing. This is something we agree with, where when we're going on our date night, if we can, we want to sit right next to each other. So instead of sitting across.
Oh, this is a poll.
Oh, this is our first poll. That's right.
This is a poll. Very
So instead
important.
of sitting across from each other,
Very important.
where you're like this far away, I get to look at you directly.
Okay,
but we're
wait.
this
Before
far.
you get into that,
What?
we have to let the people know about your polls. So Donnie is big on his polls.
Why?
We will be in the middle of a disagreement,
Yep.
very intense.
Where you
are
are
arguing.
so sure that you are right.
You are so
Better
sure
believe
that
it.
you're right. Okay. And we're both just so sure.
How do you decide
And
which way to go?
He decides in the middle of that moment, he goes, you always say, why don't you poll your friends?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm
Let's ask others
I'm
that are
just
not
like-
that are not in the hot
in that
seat.
moment, I'm just like, absolutely fucking not.
I get that may be a
Like-
little unorthodox, but
Like, nobody wants to do a poll right now.
But
Oh
you know
my
what?
God.
So
it drives me nuts.
yeah, but how
And
fun is it?
You always say that.
So I'll ask the people next to us, random strangers, and what's cool is they're like, oh, this is Let me
Yeah,
let
so
me
a lot
provide
of
my
polls-
feedback.
yeah, a lot of polls to
and then
come
they
here in
like
the-
that and engages conversation. We end up actually meeting really cool people doing
Yeah,
that.
or surveys. He loves the surveys.
Survey.
So there's going to be a lot of that on Wolfetales. Okay, anyway, continue. So about the
So, but
dates.
this is actually one that we agree on, how we sit.
I'm a little indifferent.
You are, but no, hold on. Not about sitting next to me. So I like to sit like literally right next to you side by side.
Yeah.
As opposed to across the table from you.
Yes.
Because you're within my reach.
I love that.
I can touch you. I can hold your hand. We're closer.
Yeah.
That's what I like. But we're in the minority. Like when we look around at restaurants everywhere,
I'm going to start.
folks are across from each other. They don't even think about that option.
Yeah.
But today we saw another couple
Oh, yeah.
that was sitting next to each other, and he had his hand on her thigh, and I was like, we went up to them and we're like, you guys do
you
what
went
we
up to-
do.
you went
I
up to
did.
them.
I was like, you guys do what we do, By the way, we're going to talk about this on our podcast. Follow us. I got another follower. That was not the intention. But it was cool to see that.
Yeah.
And so I guess the poll is, I wonder what you all think and how you do that. Have you ever done that?
Where do you sit at a where do you sit with your spouse? No, what's the question? It's where.
No, the question is, do you always sit across from each other?
No.
Do you always make it a point to sit next to each other? Do you even think about that? It's almost just like an open-ended kind of question.
Yeah.
Right? There are times, or
What's
if you're sitting at a table where the chairs are individual chairs, you can't do that. But what we always do is we make sure we're at the corner of the table.
Yeah.
So that the other two seats here are
at
the
an
open
angle.
ones. Yeah, not across from each other.
Yeah. But I'm indifferent. So I love that you love me next to you.
I love it.
I love that. But I also don't mind sitting across from you because I can see you and I can also hold your hand across
Yeah.
the table. I don't mind that.
That's true.
But you know, I've been with you for 9 years, so I know now we always sit next to each other. I know how that goes. And you always have view on the restaurant.
So that's the other part of this question. Now you're bringing into like the mobster mentality.
The mobster.
Yeah, I call it, it's the mobster mentality, because if you know anything about the like mafia, like old Italian gangster films,
Like
that's
the
what I was
olives
raised to watch.
the olives and the martinis.
Exactly. You know how many olives that they give you if you're going to be marked for death or if you're safe, so that the server knows all that.
Yeah, that's another poll. Do people know that?
And of course, well, if people know The Godfather. So, but in the household I was in with an Italian old school stepdad who loved gangster movies like we did, like, you know, all the Godfathers, Goodfellas, Bronx Tale, Casino. One of the things he taught my brothers and me was the man sits with his back to the wall, more importantly, with his eyes focused on the door, the entryway. Yeah. So, and that's, I've carried that with me because it's important that I have a view of everybody around us. I can size people up. I can kind of just survey, you know, if there's any sort of like weird shit going on or any dangers. Yeah. And the reason why I was popular in those mobster movies is because they were worried that someone was going to come in and kill them all the time, right? So they wanted to have an eye on the door so they could react. So these guys were thinking about that seat because they were literally worried about their life every day, all right? But I still think that applies today. I mean, that's the way I was raised, and I'm a believer of that. I'm worried about your safety. I want to see the entire restaurant. I want to have eyes on everyone. I'm sizing people up. Like that's a job that you have to do in public. If you're not.
And I'm wondering if other people think like that.
I don't know. I think I'm in the minority.
So that's what the poll is definitely about. Yeah. Are you getting the appropriate amount of olives in your drink or not?
I mean, haven't you heard from like a lot of girlfriends or single women that are dating now that they're saying, there's a lot of snowflakes out there. I'm worried that these men would never be able to protect me in a zombie apocalypse. Yeah. Because they don't think about things like that.
Yeah. I wonder if that's holds truth. I wonder if how people are thinking. And that's what the poll is going to be about. So let us know in the comments on YouTube, comments on Instagram. We want to know. So that's exciting.
Yeah, engage with us. Tell us if we suck. Tell us if we're good. Tell us what you want to hear.
We know that we're non-professional. We know that we're not experts. We know that this is messy, but that's the point of this. Yeah. And we're just having fun. Yeah. We're having fun. So we hope that you guys enjoyed it. And
I had fun.
I had fun too, baby. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to our first episode.
Our first recorded podcast.
How exciting. Okay. On to the next one.
Peace out.